Hi, everybody. I hope you are fine. Welcome, welcome, welcome to day 3. Who is joining me? Let's see. I can't believe that we're on day 3 of the boot camp. This is Coach Joanne. I am ready to teach. You won't believe what happened. I was actually streaming onto my personal page. Then I realized, oh my goodness, I'm meant to be in Lioness Arising. So here I am. It's called Friday. Who's joining me? Let's see if we are live on the page. And if we are, say hello to me. Let me know that you are live and tuning in. Say hi, tag your friend. Let me know that we are here and that we are ready for day 3 of the bootcamp. For me, it just flew like this. And today I just want to talk from my heart. I mean, I always talk from my heart, but I really want to talk from my heart. And what I want to talk about, just tell me if you can see me. I can't see you guys yet. I just want to truly communicate. I have many things I want to say, but I don't have like a formula as such. I'm just going to give you some principles that I know will be so vital for us all as we step into Q2. Oh, I can see Rosie is here. Rosie, tag a friend, tag 2 friends who are part of the bootcamp or who may not be, so that we get this party rolling. As I said, I'm ready to teach. I'm ready for you. I've had such an amazing day coaching clients. I've been up and about, done so many little things, and now I am here to teach. So let's go straight to it, ladies, because as I said, when it comes to looking at life as it is, the first thing that I want us to do, to go back to, is day 1, when we went into the mechanics of, really stepping into your purpose and understanding that your purpose is your money maker, and why you need not have unnecessary excuses, because distractions are what limit us, or distractions are what put us away from our God-given destiny. So if you feel at some point you're deviating from your calling, you know that the distractions are deviations from destiny. Can someone write that for me? There are deviations from destiny. Janet, I see you. I see you. Rosie. Oh, Edith. Oh, I missed you yesterday. Nice to see you. And whoever else is here, presence yourself so that I can know you're here. Tag your friends and them know that we are live. Yeah, so the distractions deviate us from destiny. And some of these distractions are, as I said yesterday, very self-inflicted. And if you did not watch day 2, I would highly, highly recommend that you take time to watch day 2, because as you ladies recall, I went really, really deep. I went to places I never thought I would go, you guys. So when I said we are in a sudden time of sudden shift, sudden moves, success loves speed, and you saw it was daylight one moment, sunshine on my face, the next minute it started snowing, a confirmation from nature, a confirmation from God that he can do what he wants in an instant like that. And you guys literally saw the snowflakes coming. It was just so phenomenal experiencing that with you ladies. So I want to go straight to today. And the first thing that I want to talk about, because I said it's just a tete-a-tete about how I plan my quarter, and how we did a bit of the quarter planning, and we talked about, the foundations, the things that you really need to think. But what I want you to concentrate on right now is the being, because when you put yourself in the state of being, it will be so much easier for you to take the necessary steps that you need. Let's put these things of mine on, what do you call it? Focus mode. Just give me a second. Let me get myself in a quiet space, because I can't concentrate when things are beeping all over. So that's focus mode there. And then I need to do the same on my computer so that I'm fully present. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, so let's continue. So I'll talk about, my own, me, Joanne, the things that I use is really fast stepping into the energetic state of being, because when I become the thing that I want to be. So if my focus this month is to be fill in the blanks, and I want you to say, what is it that you want to be this month, this quarter? What is it that you want? Put the word, put it in the statement so that I can see. So that state of being is what leads to the action. So the first thing that I want to say is that for me, I realized that I create my own formula. I say this to my clients all the time: success loves speed. And the moment I learned to move with urgency, at the moment I started moving like a woman on a mission, that's when things started to shift. And where I see many women getting, again, sidetracked or deviated from the big mission is you don't recognize that you have a mission. You're not moving with speed. You're not moving with urgency. You drag your feet. You do not care if the things that you want to achieve will be achieved. For you, you'll be like, well, it's a matter of time. But who tells you that you have the time? And who tells you that the time that you think you have is for that? Because there are things that must be accomplished now to create room for the other things that you need to do. And then the slower you take, the more you drag your feet in doing some of these things, the more you delay yourself from again, your destiny. One of my clients from my Life Purpose program surprised me yesterday, and I forgot to share it with you ladies. And she's graduated from one of the most recent cohorts of my Clarify, Connect, and Cultivate Your Life Purpose program. Her name is Dr. Anna 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿, and she sent me this book by mail. And she wrote, and I'm going to show it to you as evidence. This is her memoir. This is a book that she's written. Throw hats for Dr. And look what she wrote there. Can you read? Joanne, do you know it's after CCC that I was sure I needed to pen my story down? You were used of God to awaken this desire that I didn't know how to activate. I will forever be grateful to you, dear. Be blessed as you read your student's story. Dr. Anna, you can see it's just the other day, 23rd March, less than a week. Success loves speed. When my clients write books after doing a course, she just did the course and she's written the book in less than 6 months and it's published. And she sent me a copy here in the UK. What can I say? And then she says, Joanne, do you know it's after CCC that I was sure I needed to pen my story down? You see, what I tell people, coaching is not a luxury. It is a privilege because it helps you recognize innate gifts. It helps you recognize things in you that you did not know existed. And what happened is when Dr. 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿 did the course, the first thing that she did is like, you know what? I have a story to tell. I have a story to tell. And she sat down and told me, and we worked together. And she said, in the next few moments, I told her I've never published a book. I don't know what people do, but you need to do your research. But the majority, and I'm going far into my story for today, is that many of the people I know, and I'll say this and I'll be very truthful here, you're in research mode forever. Rather than sitting yourself down and saying that I'm going to write this book, you research for 2 years on how to write a book. You say that you're going to do this thing and you're permanently on research mode and you end up doing nothing. So there you are, Google, there you are, YouTube, there you are, signing up program after program after program and yielding zero results. And one of the biggest things that I love about, coaching, especially on my end, is because for me, what matters most is the implementation. You can tell me all the stuff that you want to tell me, but what I want to see are results. And that's what I want you to do in the coming quarter. This is what I want you to do as we move forward, that you're in a position where, right, where you are in a position, you decide to yourself that you're going to do something and do it well. You do it with diligence. So let's go very quickly, ladies, into what I want you to see. So the speed and performance, like I was sharing with you. Success loves speed. So learn to move with urgency, like you're on a mission, like I've shared about Dr. 𝐾𝐞𝐬𝐢𝐠𝐧. The second thing I want to say as we move into Q2 is I want you, today is the 1st of April Fool's Day. But I sent a message to the ladies in my mastermind this morning, and I said, today we're not talking about April Fool. We're talking about a full April Fool, F-U-L-L. Do you get my point? So April Fool, I want you to be April Fool. Can someone write that in the chat? April Fool. Hi, Kathy, nice to see you. You're full. Your heart is full. Your actions are full. April Fool, not the April Fool of stupidity. No, you're full because you're ready to activate those gifts. Let's continue. So the second thing is about breaking through the resistance. Today, I'm just sharing with you what has helped me quarter by quarter to keep my focus, to keep the momentum, not to lose hope, because one thing is common to us. Life situations differ, right? But one thing stands is that trials and tribulations will come, but how you deal with them, right? How you treat them is what will determine how you get to the other side. So let's talk about breaking. So we talked about breaking through the resistance, and I keep telling my clients this over and over again, prospective clients, and to the ladies who booked a call, well done. I had a few lovely calls today, such amazing women following this live stream. And of course, I'm going to put the link for you to book your call if you haven't, so that we can see how we can activate you further into Q2. Anyway, let's continue. You cannot create from the state of being that led to where you are. Can someone capture that? So if your state right now is you're broke, I can even not say those words for myself. So someone is saying they're sick and they're broke, then that's the modus operandi. You'll be operating as a broke and sick person. Everything around you will be around limitation. Every decision you're making, you come to have a conversation with somebody, even before you hear what it is they have to share, the first thing you're asking them, so how much is it? You're not looking at the bigger picture of this is the thing that could change my life. Before your mind just operates around the limitations. Oh, I don't have money. Oh, it will be too expensive for me. Oh, what if I cannot afford it, without recognizing that that cycle is something that has to be broken at some point. Yesterday, I was graduating from a coaching program after 1 year, and it was so emotional, me and my fellow classmates. And one of the things that I recognized and I did share with the coach was how some of my limitations and barriers were broken through me investing in that program, because I realized that if I could make that happen, there's absolutely nothing else that I could not make happen. Because first and foremost, I was like, as I shared with you ladies yesterday, was it yesterday or the day before, when I place a bet on myself, I put a bet on myself, I better win. Because when I go there, my mind is like, how am I going to make this happen? So when I entered that program, for me, it was like, I was very results driven. I was like, there are things that needed to change, and the results need to be seen in my business. So when I walked in, I was not walking in like I know it all. And that's where many people go in. You go, you know it all. You know it all. Nobody can tell you anything. And I went with a very, as a student, and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to open up my mind. I don't know much about this. And even if I know, let me go in, with curiosity. How can I improve my business? How can I improve my clients' relationships? How can I grow my team? How can I, I went with how can I, and how can this be the vehicle to support me through that, rather than, oh my God, what if I do this and then I lose all my money? What if it doesn't work? That never featured for me. It was a matter of, I will make it work. So break through the resistance. You cannot create from the state of being that led you to where you are. You have to shift your energetic state this coming quarter. Let's continue. You are results-oriented, BT. You are. I 100% agree with that. Yes, my amazing clients. I see you here. I see Nyambura. These are the ladies currently in my mastermind. Kathy, oh, you guys are all here. So nice to see my students. Students representing the mastermind. Nice to have you, ladies. Then the next thing I want want to talk about number 3 is, I realized for me that, comfort is really what separates us from our greatness. And I'm so glad that these ladies who are in the current cohort of one of my programs are here, is because the moment you realize that you've been in a comfort zone and you have succumbed to it, you realize that you're the one stalling your own greatness. And the moment you separate yourself from that comfort zone and you decide to yourself you're going to do something really uncomfortable, that's where the magic starts to happen. For me, I'm of the opinion that time will pass anyway. So let me decide to show up for the time that I have right now. So as I shared with you ladies, my Q1 results, and I did not tell you everything. Some of the things that happened in Q1 on the 1st of January, we launched the podcast. We're literally going into episode 15. Kathy's here. If you have, Kathy's episode is one of the latest ones on it is the last one we had on the podcast. My podcast is called The Next Level on Purpose. If you've never listened to it, I also launched a YouTube channel, which we are developing slowly but surely. Yes, I said success loves speed, but also YouTube requires strategy. So we're developing the YouTube strategy. So the channel is up. I'm very pleased with that. I hired team. I had one team member who I've had for many years, very supportive, and we added one additional team member. I launched the personal development mastermind, The Next Level on Purpose Self, which quite a few ladies on this live stream, BT is there, Nyambura is there, Kathy is there. I thought I had seen Lynn earlier. Lynn is there. So we have quite a few ladies in the mastermind who are also representing in this video right now as we speak, and I'm so proud of the fact that they have come. I also am running a live event at the end of this month here in the United Kingdom. Amazing people are coming, and in fact one of the ladies is flying in all the way from the US to come and attend the event. So what am I trying to say? When you decide and you do for it. So that's a bit that said, I said I'm gonna do things that are not comfortable for me. I had never run a podcast before. I didn't know where it starts, but I decided I'm going to hire a podcast team to help support me launch that. If you cannot, if you see something, this is how my mind operates. If I don't know something and I'm not getting the results that I need in something, let me get the help. Let me get the support. I'm not too proud to be supported because I know the moment I get the support, that thing will move like this. Instead of me trial and erroring left, right, and center, I want to get it right the first time properly. So I go ugly early. I'm like, you know what, if you're messing up, let's mess up early so that we can fix it. Rather than me going 1 year, 2 years, and then I realize that's not the thing. So let's do it from the beginning. If it's not for us, we ditch it. That's how my mind operates. We will resolve as we go. If it's not for us, we'll ditch, but we're not going to wait 5 years before we launch anything. And that's why I keep telling you guys, put yourself in the right environment. So that's what I'm saying. Don't be too comfortable, because it's that comfort that will separate you from your greatness. Ladies, let me see that we are together and that you're getting what it is. Say that comfort separates us from our greatness. And the fourth point is that I know a lot, but there's still so much I know nothing about. So this afternoon I was running errands and I went a bit far, a bit far, and I was like, oh, let me listen to something. And I usually listen when I have time. I love listening to people's stories because I found that life will give us different cards. And I want you to listen to these ladies. Life will give you a deck of cards, a certain deck of cards. But how one person handles the same deck of cards is very different from how another person handles the same thing. How one person handles the trials and tribulations of grief and the loss of a loved one, example, is very different from the way another person handles it, right? How one person handles disease or, a chronic condition or something that is very different from how another one does it, right? And I'm not saying there's any right or wrong. What I'm trying to say is that how are you dealing with the deck of cards that you have been dealt with. So I listen to these stories of people, and for those of you who are international, this happens a lot in Kenya. The stories are called Tuko Talks. Others are by a lady called Lynn Ngugi, and then there's another one called just Life with Justice or something like that. So today I was listening to the Justice one, which is very professionally produced, and I was listening to this young, not young anymore, man talking about how he came from a very, very privileged background and ended up living in the streets of Nairobi for almost 10 years as a street urchin. And the eloquence, the way his command of language. And I had to sit and ask myself, how did this happen? And he explained. The story was so long. I think it took me 3 hours to listen from start to finish. And I was glued, because for me, when I'm listening, I don't listen just as a listener. I listen as a teacher, as a coach. And I put my students ahead of me here when I'm listening. And I'm like, okay, so what are the foundations this person may have had? What are some of the beliefs he got on the streets? What are some of the things that he has to break through right now? Like my mind really goes on overdrive while I'm listening to these things. And he said something. He's like, you cannot judge a situation you've not been in. You cannot speak about a situation you've not been in. And I want you to think about that, because, a lot of us, we know a lot, but there's still so much more we can learn. And that's why for me, I always put myself in an environment of learning and growth. There's no time I've never not had coaching. Why? Because I'm like, if I'm gonna grow and move myself to the next level, I have to be in an environment that spurs that growth, that pushes me to think, that helps me to elevate, where I'm asked the hard questions. Sometimes, like yesterday, my coach put me on the spot in a really good way. And she asked me some questions around my business that I had never thought about. And I'm like, I'm so glad I'm in this space, because the other people were commenting and they're like, I'm so glad you asked Joanne that, because it also made me think about my situation. Are you in such a group, or are you the sharpest knife in your toolbox? Are you the sharpest knife in your circles? If you are, I'll tell you, my friend, think about that twice. Like in your circles, your friends, are you the one who is the smartest? Look for another circle, look for another environment. Oh, hi, Claire. Oh, thank you so much for joining, darling. It's so long. Thank you for joining me. Congratulations, Joanne, the podcast, the YouTube, Next Level on Purpose, and lots more, BT. But it requires that intention. It requires the support. Without the support of mentorship and coaching, I don't know if half of those things would be done, because it's not easy. I'll tell you the truth, it's not easy. Remember, I'm doing all this amidst also, having a household, having family, having other things that I have to grapple and deal with. Everybody has things that they're working with. My business is, yes, I do my business full time, but it's not my full time activity. So think about that. All right. And then the next thing I want to say is, do not be so focused, and someone get this, do not be so focused on figuring the best approach that you never get round to actually taking action. I started with that at the beginning, that being a forever researcher. Oh, let me research. Can someone write, let me research. And you research forever. Terry here, I think I saw Terry here. Yes, Terry is here. Hi, Terry. She's in real estate, and she's one of my clients who has done me proud. She's doing extremely well when it comes to the real estate space. And Terry doesn't play. This girl, she finished her coaching and off she was. She resigned from her corporate job and launched this business, and she hit the ground running, right? Because she's like, I want people to get the best properties. I want people to get land. I want to educate women in such a way. But this vision came from a much bigger vision. It came from, one of the of the biggest desires, that the things that she saw her mom doing. Her mom was very good with real estate, and after her mom's passing, she, something came in her spirit, and she was like, I really want to continue with this legacy, and I want to go into this thing. And now, Terry's company, Property Hall Investment, is doing really well. Why? Because she had to do these things. Number one, what I shared with you, speed and performance. Success loves speed. Learn to move with urgency. Right? She had to break through her resistance. You go and you'll hear about all these other real estate companies. Oh, there's this Villa Care, there's Optiven, there's there's Has Consult, there's who. But no, they're your people. There's space for you. There's no area that is too saturated for you, because you come with your own personal solution. And Terry came with her personal solution to the real estate space, and she's doing very well in that. And then understanding that comfort separates us from our greatness. You have to think really fast. For me to be able to concentrate on this really well, can I handle a corporate job and the business? And she decided she's going to go for the business full time. However, I also have clients like Kathy who are able to do both. So she's still in her corporate job and is still running a full-time health coaching business that is doing really well. What I'm trying to tell you, ladies, right, is that if there's a solution for everybody, and I'm so happy that all these people are on the call, majority of them, because I can be able to speak their names, because they're right here. There's no client who goes through me that I do not know. Every client I've worked with individually, on a personal level, we become like this. Why? Because your success is my success. I become so nosy in your business that sometimes I know they want to tell me, John, keep your nose away, but I can't, because that's the mandate I've been given to support you, to make sure that you move with speed and power and poise and grace. You won't let things take you away. Small distractions move you from that, right? And then let's continue. We talked about no longer being a forever researcher. Educating the mind without educating the heart is no education at all. That is by Aristotle. Educating the mind without educating the heart is no education at all. And I shared with you on day one about how I had to go through my own heart surgery, because many of us, what's your motive? What's your motive? You're doing all these things for what? Is it for the money? Is it, and for me, when I literally went down to my big why, I realized that after I got better, right, and I literally was going to lose my life, for me, I was just very certain that I will never allow anybody to go through what I've gone through if I can support them through their own purpose. Because when I discovered my own purpose, things shifted for me. The moment I realized that everything that, as I shared yesterday, it was not happening to me, it was happening for me. And I'm like, you know what, Joanne, we can't continue like this. There has to be a change. And the reason you have been saved is like Queen Esther, so that you can go and help other people to be able to get out of that, mental slavery, come out of that emancipation, come out of, the things we talked about, settling for less yesterday, the mediocrity, not seeing yourself as worthy, not seeing yourself as an expert, the imposter syndrome, all those mindset, debilitating belief patterns that stop you from being the best that you are, not recognizing the potential and the gifts that God has given you. All those things were so blatantly clear to me that somebody had to do this work to help women, right? Especially women of color. And that for me was something that I'm like, I just have to do it. You have to do it. If you don't do, who will, Joanne? And that's why I was given a second lease of life. So educating the mind without educating the heart is no education at all. That's why sometimes for me, I sit here, I'm doing videos and I just break down and cry, because I know how big my vision is. It's my vision which drives me forward every single day. My vision pulls me forward. It stirs me. It keeps me going. Even sometimes when, as I said, I wake up and I just feel like I can take that duvet and cover myself for 3 days. No, the vision pushes me forward because I have to show up for you, for you, for you, for you, for you. All the people on the call today, I have to keep showing up for you. Nancy, hi. Thanks, Joanne. You've been a great pillar in my business. Thank you, Terry. Thank you so much. Yeah, educating the mind without educating the heart is no education at all. You got that, Nyambura. And then the next one, number 7, is about leveraging your gifts and relationships with other people. No man is an island. Let me tell you this, ladies, this pride and ego that people have, that you can do things on your own, shock on you. There's absolutely nothing that you can do on your own. You need support, you need help. And especially the bigger the vision that you have, the more support that you need to articulate that vision. And that's why you need to understand your purpose is a money maker, because the more money the business is able to make, the more money we can give to philanthropic causes, the more people we can employ in the business, the more we can invest in infrastructure to make this message go to bigger places. Like, it all works for the good, right? But many people are so myopic around money, so short-sighted around money. You're scared, oh, what if, this money I'm going to pay, will I get it back? Will I do this? But I always say this, there is nothing that will give you a greater return on your investment than investing on your personal growth, because that will transcend into every area of your life. It will transcend into your vision. It will transcend into your leadership. It will transcend into your self mastery. It will transcend into your finances. It will transcend into your fitness. It will transcend into your marriage, into your relationships. It will transcend into your parenting. Like, it will go in, it will permeate. It's like an octopus. It will help you in every area of your life. And I really feel sympathy for people who don't see that. Like, what is coaching? What is, I wonder, I'm just like, I get so horrified when I imagine if I never invested in my first coach, where I would be right now. Would not be having this conversation right now. It'd be my corporate job. Still, it wasn't I had a really good job with the UN, but God is using me in a much bigger way here. And I'm thinking, what if I'm the one who would have stifled my bigger calling because of fear that I don't have the money, that I don't have the time, I don't have the energy to invest in myself? And those of you who know my story, if you've not listened to my podcast, go and listen. I invested everything I had into that first coaching program. I remained with, I think it was $34 after multiple thousands of pounds. And I'm like, I'm going to do this for me. And that investment has yielded, I can't tell you, leave the money, the woman I've become. I'm so proud of her. I cannot put a shilling, I cannot put a money, I cannot quantify it in monetary terms. How I perceive life, how I see things, how I operate, even the wisdom to know when to step away and when to step closer. All these things are traits that I have learned through this coaching that money cannot give me. I cannot explain it. Coach extraordinaire. Hello, Joyce. I was so happy. Another one has come. Queen, come. This multi-award CEO is here. First and foremost, congratulations on the Marylebone thing. It touched my heart. Let me tell you what, ladies, when you talk about, again, I'm so happy that Joyce has jumped onto this call, because comfort separates us from our greatness, as I said. Joyce is one of the biggest entrepreneurs that in fact, I wouldn't call her an entrepreneur as such, because she's in the social impact space, and she runs an organization here called Grant a Smile, and I've had the privilege of working with her as well. Mwah! Just to remember our coaching days. And seeing her walk in front, just put it in the chat if you're still here, if you can. She's gotten multiple awards from the Queen. And Joyce, you're here. You remember I told you will stand before the Queen and you will get, and and let me tell you, sometimes you just say these prophetic words, as someone was saying yesterday, and they come to pass. And there's no post of Joyce's that passes me, because I think I've put my notifications to see everything, because when God chooses who to bless, and why I'm so happy that she's jumped onto this call is because what I'm congratulating her on is she stepped out in faith, just as I said, and she made a big decision to launch a business here, a social. She helps people with chronic conditions here in the UK, and I'll put the link to her website, because you guys need to contribute to her cause. But one thing that I want to say is, when she put her mind into launching this, grant a smile. God granted a smile on her, because this woman has stood before great men, openings for scholarships just coming from left, right, and center, volunteers supporting her mission. But you have to be available. You can't sit there and say that, oh, let's hope things will work. You'll hope forever. You have to put one foot forward, and you have to put a stake in the ground and say that no matter what, you're going to make it happen. grantasmile.org.uk. If I didn't invest in your coaching program, I won't be the multi-award CEO I am today. Let me tell you this, ladies. And here, I'm not, as I said, I'm not pulling anybody to come and coach. Yes, you'll get loads working with me, but it's who you become, the person that you become, the confidence, that articulation, right? Like that going to the Imperial College. She's been in the Imperial College. That's what she was studying. Just correct me. She's been on the BBC numerous times, ITV. But all this comes from seeing yourself as who God made you to be, because you're in the right rooms with the right people, getting the right support. And that's why I say no man is an island. Joyce asks for help. Where she needs the help, she gets the help, and the help is available when you need it. But we have to stop this pride, especially as women of color, Black people, saying, oh, I don't have the money for that, that's too expensive, I cannot do that, I cannot do the other. And you put yourself in this state of perpetual misery and commiseration and brokenness and sadness, and you wonder why this cycle of poverty never leaves you. In fact, let me put the link right now for the book in the call. She got she got a scholarship to study an executive MBA with the renowned Imperial London Business School. I shared that with you. And the other day, they were all over. They were in Turkey, and she got to meet. Was it Turkey? Where you met the president? She had a one-on-one meeting with the president, and she shared that. And I was like, that is what it takes. Because your purpose will put you before great men. It's not you to put yourself before great men. Your purpose will put you before great men. So put that pride away that, oh, it's too much. I can't do, I'll do it one day. One day you'll wait forever, as Joyce goes to Imperial College, and the course that would have been £60,500, it was offered to her free of charge. Do the math. That is almost 60,000. I don't know even what 60,000. Someone do for me the calculation and put it for me in the chat in local, in Kenya shillings for those in Kenya, put for me in US dollars for those in the US. Wow, Nancy, wow. 1 second, I'm just getting the link for the book in the call, because ladies, I have to tell you this, I'm at a place where, and I say this, the reason many of you get attacked by the enemy wouldn't be attacking you if there wasn't something valuable inside of you. Because thieves don't break into empty houses. But many of you let these thieves of mediocrity, thieves of complacency, thieves of despair, thieves of I don't have money, thieves of mental blockages. Little things blocking you, emotional immaturity, and these things, these are the thieves. And I told you, thieves don't break into empty houses. You have a purpose. That's why you're targeted the most. Don't let things happening around you distract you. We all have life issues. I can't minimize your issue, and neither can you minimize mine, because mine is mine and yours is yours. But don't stop you. I say, for me, and I repeat this to the ladies and the mastermind, I no longer force things. What flows, flows. What crashes, crashes. But because I only have time and space for the things that are meant for me. Right? And I want you to be in that space, because just like Joyce, it just takes God one moment to change everything in your life. But you have to believe, because for no word from God will ever fail. That's from Luke 1:37. No word from God will ever return void, Isaiah 55:11. So stop worrying about things and people you have no control over. Do you, boo. Right? For me, that's do you, boo. Do you, boo. Keep reminding yourself to do your best every single day. And then trust that God is the only one who can change or fix your situation, not a human being. You can get the guidance, you can get the support, which is very important. But ultimately, who you need is God to help you, because he's the one who gave you those gifts. So he's the one who will put you before those great men. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because the moment you get this, your life is going to change. So just put for me yes in the chat, because I'm putting the clarity link for you, clarity session link for those who need to book. And again, those who I had a call with today, I have a few more calls next week, that's what I was saying. Don't beg, force, pretend. Flow with life. What's meant to flow will flow. What's meant to go will go. Then the moment you recognize that, you won't be a depressed person, because you will be walking in your lane. Right now, some of you are reading this chat and you're like, oh my God, these people they are so far ahead of me. Oh, these people have done such great things. But listen, start with what you have. None of these ladies started without, many of them had an idea, but they didn't know. They just started. They just got the support and the help, and they just started with what they had. And look now how doors just started to open. But if you sit there and fold your arms like this, anyway, lucky them, good for them. That attitude, you'll remain with it for the rest of your life, good for them, and it will remain forever good for them, and you'll remain bitter, sad, hostile towards people whose lives are going well. But if you decide for yourself that the same God who did it for Joyce, who did it for Terry, who did it for Mary, who did it for Joanne, who did it for Kathy, who did it for Lynn, who did it, is the same God who did for Nyambura, is the same God who did for BT, is the same God who did for Rosie, is the same God who did for Edith, is the same God who did for Claire, is the same God who did for me. Your life will completely change, because you understand that God doesn't do favorites. The moment you realize that you have the same favor I have, and the next favor, the only person, the only difference is that the other person took the bull by the horns. They didn't fold their arms and say, anyway, it's too expensive next time. Who tells you next time will ever happen? By the time next time is happening, yesterday's price is not today's price. It went up. So grab the bull by the horns. Yes, I had no, do you, boo? Yes, boo. I had no idea what I was doing, but Joanne told me to trust the process. I remember, trust the process and do the work. Let me tell you, this young lady, homework used to be sent on the same day. I'm like, did she sleep? I usually give clients homework, and some don't send, some, maybe will send after 2 days, and that's okay, because people's lives are different, but she has a full life with a family. But I give the homework, I'm literally running to the supermarket and coming back. I hear an email, ding, from Joyce, homework done, submitted. And that's why I said success loves speed. And the formula that you need in Q2 is understanding that speed and performance will yield optimum results in your life. Money loves speed. Success loves speed. You can't behave, dragging your feet. Oh, let's see. Let's see, you'll wait, let's sing forever. And people will just come pass you by. And then that's where that spirit of resentment and bitterness comes. Because people are doing the same thing. And I hear people saying, oh, that was my idea. It wasn't your idea. The difference is that the person executed it and you did not. I hear people saying, oh, I had that idea. Did you? Yeah, you had the idea, but what did you do with it? The difference between you and them is that they took the idea from their head and implemented. You're still saying it was my idea. Meanwhile, the person has run and met the queen with it. And then now you're like, hey, I don't know. You make your bed, you lie in it. Write that for me in the chat. You make your bed, you lie on it. No, she's not boasting. This is the testimony. I had no idea what it is. It is her testimony. It is your testimony. Opportunities. Let me tell you, rain pours on the just and the unjust alike. It's in the Bible. The way blessings flow on the just and the unjust alike. God is equal. He doesn't choose who to bless. So you, if you're there, just sitting there, saying, raising your hands, hallelujah, hallelujah, every single day and doing nothing about it, you will continue doing that. But your faith has to be accompanied by actions, because faith without works is dead. And that's where sometimes I have a big problem with Black people, especially of faith. Because everything, oh, God will deliver, God will do, God will, but you're doing nothing to change the situation. And then when someone else is being blessed on that corner, you're like, Lord, how come that one is being blessed and I'm not being blessed? And you've done zero. You're not seeing the person waking up at 2 a.m. You're not seeing the person on their knees doing the thing. You're not seeing the person investing in different ways to grow them and develop them. So this is not to boast, ladies. I'm sharing my experiences. God doesn't play favorites. You just have to grab. That's it. You grab the opportunities that are available to us all. Don't overthink the cost of the investment, because it will come back to you in folds you can't even imagine. Thank you for saying that, Joyce. Thank you so much. Joyce, you're not boasting. Please, I need more of you to wake me up, to wake up the sleeping motivation in you. Nancy, you have to wake yourself up. My dear, you have to wake yourself up. Joyce can inspire you, but the person to wake, it's you to wake, to make the decision for yourself. You have to make the decision. BT, speed and performance. Success loves speed. That's it. Speed and performance is what equals optimal results, optimum results. This year, Grant a Smile got the contract to work in partnership with Social Services and the Citizens Advice Bureau here in the UK. That's a big deal, because that's the Department of Work and Pensions. And I know what it takes to get in there, because my husband worked in that department, just FYI, at some point. He did disability work for them, for medicine work for them. It took 4 years, but they got there. You see, and that's why I say, you do something for 1 month, you ditch it. For me, it didn't work. It didn't work. 1 month, 3 months. It's slow. Maybe I try another one. But you have to have, I want to, can someone write for me in the chat, please? What is it called? What was it called? I've even, no, you're not the one making me forget, but I'll tell you just now. You need to get this book just now. Did I write it in my notes? Please remind me the book. I'll tell you that all of you must, it's your homework. You must read the book. Just give Relentless by Tim Grover. I was trying to remember the name. It's in the car. Relentless, because that's what being relentless is about. You don't give up. You don't give up. You don't cave in. You fight for what is yours. You fight for that which is yours. You fight for it. You put your boxing gloves, Mike Tyson. Just don't go slapping people. Fight for what is yours. Because my next point is number 9, is because no one is coming to your rescue. And that's what I was just trying to explain here. No one is going to come to your rescue. Nobody. You are in control. And I want you to write for me. Did someone write for me the name of the book? Can someone write for me then? Relentless by Tim Grover. each one of you needs to buy that book. It completely changed my perspective, because as you're moving into Q2, you have to be relentless. You have to push through your own mental obstacles. You have to fight through your physical limitations as well. You have to speak to yourself and tell yourself that you have everything it takes, so that once your mind steps into that state of being, you then now start acting in accordance. So you be, and then you take the inspired action, which is to do, and then you have. But you must have the vision here first. So you're acting from the place that you already are. So Joyce, I'll use Joyce's example because it's straight in my head right now. So for 4 years, they were waiting to get into the Department of Work, into the civil, the bureau, what do you call the one I'm talking about, the Social Services and Citizens Advice Bureau. That's a big deal, 4 years. But in those 4 years, Joyce was being propelled by her vision, seeing all these people with chronic conditions who need their help, who need their homes cleaned, and that vision was forefront here. And then she has a very supportive team around her of volunteers who, when you have this, and that's why I said no man is an island. These volunteers literally surround her. And I can tell you, in anything in life, that some people will be there and they'll support you like this, but the others who will come, drop off, go, it's life. But her mind was fueled by that vision. It did not matter how long it took, right? 4 years. So when you start thinking like that, so all her actions were already like, we've gotten this thing. So when she's serving every single day, when she's putting out her posts on social media, when she's going to the Imperial Business School classes, her mind is that Grant Smile is going to be in literally every continent in this world. Because her vision to help those people with chronic conditions is so much bigger than her own personal needs, because her own personal needs have already been met. And the moment you get that, you start being the person before. And then you start taking the inspired action. So now the inspired action, she's studying, she's doing the behavioral psychology, she's doing all these other executive MBA, she's doing all these other courses that are there to support her work, so that by the time the vision comes that they're in every continent example, it is not a surprise. It comes automatically, because you have done all the groundwork. You have invested in yourself. You have invested in your mind. You have invested in your emotions. You have gone through the surgery of the heart. God has revealed to you and taken away anything in you that is not of Him. So you're operating from a very pure space. You must get that, ladies. You have to rescue yourself. No one else can rescue you. Don't wait around. If not now, when? If not, you see, and that's a thing. I'm so happy you're watching this video, ladies, but I want you to watch the video and act, because you can watch the video all you want, and that's a beautiful thing. I love it. And please book the call if you haven't. We've put the link there for you. But I can tell you this for a fact: until you believe yourself enough and take that first step, book that call with me. We create an action plan for you. Remember, at the end of the day, if whatever programs I'm teaching or whatever it is that I offer you is a good fit for you, fine. If it's not a good fit for you, you will walk out with something from that call. It's a no obligatory call. I never shove anything down anybody's throat, because I also want to work with people who want to work with me. I don't work with anybody forcefully. As I said, we don't beg, we don't force, we don't pretend. So it has to be a symbiotic, a mutually beneficial relationship as well, where I support you and you receive the support and you go and execute it and you get the results and everyone is happy. And you can go and you're like, yeah, it sounds good, but not for me right now. And that's good enough. You'll still walk out with a plan. You will know what to do, but don't hold yourself back because you're thinking about all your limitations. Oh, the things I'm reading, these people are so, you have to start somewhere. So give yourself that gift, start somewhere. And then I want to say this in terms of no one is coming to your rescue and that you're in control of your life. I've come to understand in my own journey that there's a correlation between growth and results. 50% work does not equal 100% results. Can someone write? You put in 50% of the work and you're expecting 100% results. How? How? Kathy is a wellness coach. She's here. She can tell you her serious students. Kathy, I don't know if you're still here. And the results show. The results may not be necessarily, skill victories. There are things called non-skill victories, where someone who had no energy to do anything, energy comes back, right? Or somebody who was borderline diabetic, the sugar levels stabilize. Or somebody who had high blood pressure stops taking the high blood pressure medicine. It may not show on the skill, but these are called non-skill victories. Some of these things are intangible, but they can be, the person feels them. You feel your energy levels are rising. Somebody who had zero libido, your libido increases. You fall in love with yourself. Your self-confidence is coming back. You're in a good space. And Kathy can pinpoint that the reason this person you're seeing is getting 100% results, it's not coming from 50% of the work. And that's why I'm like, you must go all in. You can't dibble and double on all manner little things. You can't be lukewarm. Even the Bible says that you'll be spat out if you're lukewarm. Oh, let me do a little bit of that. Let me do this. Let me do that. One moment you're doing a little bit of tarot cards. Another day you're throwing some crystals in. Another day you're throwing sage. Another day you're calling on, I don't know which angels. And then the next day you're like, praise God, praise God. It doesn't work like that. You choose who you are going to serve. And there's no God, there's the one God. And the moment you realize that, you wouldn't go trying to look for solutions from places that will put you in deep trouble. You have to have a stand for yourself, and you have to know who you serve. Who do you believe? I know who I believe in, and I am persuaded that he is able to do that which he promised to do in my life. And because that's the stance I have for me, and I'm communicating this to my clients, they have no choice than to get results, because I am persuaded that as the mentor and as the coach and as the teacher, success is inevitable for them, because that's all we are going to speak in the work that we do together. We do not speak of things that will not come to, we believe it's going to come to pass, and we stand in agreement and we do the work, and we work in communion and in faith that everything that has your name on it, you will receive it. Say, everything with my name on it, I will receive it. Say that. Joyce is operating. Hold on. Let's go back. Did you put my book? Yes. Relentless by Tim Grover. Buy that book. If you don't walk out of my coaching today with anything, walk out with that book. Go to W.H. Smith, go to Textbook Center, go to wherever you buy your books, your preferred books, make sure you get that book. Go to Amazon, order it right now. By the way, I was a senior teacher and I left that job to pursue my purpose. Let me tell you, from teacher to meeting presidents and meeting queens, your purpose will bring you before glory. Not queens, the queen, the one, Queen Elizabeth, our queen. God bless the queen. I love her. Yes, we are operating in 3 countries now. They're in Myanmar, they're in the UK, and they're in Nigeria. You profess with your mouth. The words that come out from you, they create a reality that will astound you. But you have to believe it. I cannot, sometimes I talk to a client and I feel I'm believing in their thing more than they're believing it, but that's okay. Borrow my faith. If you don't believe in yourself, let me believe in you for you, and then borrow my faith and take the action. Can someone say, borrow Joanne's faith? If you feel completely like, you know what, I've been thrown around this life, I've entered a washing machine, I've been thrown in a tumble dryer, in a washing machine. I've been moved round and round and round. I no longer have faith. I have bruises and scars. I don't even know where to start. You feel like you've lost confidence in yourself. This coach has confidence in you. Borrow her faith. Because sometimes you have to hit rock bottom. Sometimes you have to be broken into a million pieces so that God can take those pieces and put them together into something so beautiful that will be able to create an impact and influence the world. Your life has to change, lady, but you have to make that decision for yourself. You have to make that decision for yourself. You have to make that decision for yourself. You have to make that decision for partner with God and tell him what you want. Tell him your desires. Speak to him. He loves to hear from. Let me tell you guys, some of you are like, this pastor. But when Dr. 𝐏𝐻𝐬𝐤𝐬𝐿𝐻 wrote this book, and I shared with you ladies from the beginning, Joanne, do you know it's after CCC that I was sure I needed to pen my story down? You were used of God to awaken this desire that I didn't know how to activate. I will forever be grateful to you, dear. Be blessed as you read your student's story. This was sent on 23rd. This came yesterday. So it's a brand new book, as you can see. But what I'm trying to say is that she had to have somebody who believed that she can write this story, and she went and wrote the story, and now the evidence is in my hand. I'm now reading a book that came up out of the Life Purpose program. When we were chatting, I'm like, you need to write that story. But she didn't play with it. She went ahead and wrote it and did it. But many people just talk, hot air, talk. 20 years pass. Then you're angry, bitter, frustrated with the world. Yet God gave you chance after chance after chance after chance. This call is free. But what these 3 days, if you listened to me and you activate what I'm saying, you can generate a lot of revenue just from these free teachings. You can make lots and lots of money because I give so much information that can help you build whatever it is that you're doing. And then you borrow my faith. Kathy, for sure. Oh, you're still here. She's talking about the clients who get results in her health coaching. Yeah. Everything with my name on it, you will receive it. Tabby. Hi, Tabby. Welcome. Tabby is an author. She helps people write books. She's a writing coach, and she's helped so many of my clients write books as well. And she's also been an outstanding client of mine from the Life Purpose program and other programs. So nice to see you, Tabby. She attends all my live events in Kenya. I really, really, really love you because you put your vision down. The first time she did a vision board, she said, I'm going to bring this vision to life. And one of her visions was to write a book. And is it on this bookshelf? You guys, these people do really well, right? They've done me proud. Yesterday I wish I could run downstairs and bring 2 books that I had the honor and privilege of writing the foreword. So I wish let's go downstairs. I need to, but I can't carry my computer. I need to show you those books because, again, a gentleman asked me to write the foreword of his books. Write in the chat if you're going to give me a minute to run and bring the books for you guys to see, because I want to show you the evidence. Let's continue, ladies. Borrow Joanne's faith and don't look back. Yeah, she calls me so sweetly. Yeah, Joanna prophesied that I'll be meeting the queen in a red dress even before we launched Grant a Smile, and it came to pass. Listen, it's not me. And please do not look at Joanne the coach. Look at me as the vessel that God perhaps has brought in you. Why are you watching this? This group has, I think, 2,000 something people. We have almost 20, it was 20 people, 18 people, 16, 15 watching. Why are you amongst the remnant that are here? It's because it's something that God specifically wants you to listen and gain. Not that I'm saying 32,000. I said 2,000 people, 3,000 people, I believe. But 20 are here. Do that percentage, because you are the ones who were handpicked, literally cherry-picked from heaven to watch. Say that you want me to show you the book. Say yes, I ran downstairs. Say I'm waiting for you guys to say, because I don't want to run and then you guys don't, because I'm going to turn my video for 1 second and then you can be chatting for 1 second as I run and get the books. Oh, I show you the books. Okay, 1 moment. Let me turn off my video for 1 second. Bear with me. I'll come and bring the books. 1 second. Coach is back. Coach is back. All right, so this is another one. Can someone screenshot for me and send for me, because I want to send to him? These 2 books were written by somebody that I mentor in Ghana. Screenshot for me if you can and send for me the image I sent to him. Let me make it even. So David is somebody that I mentor in Ghana, and I actually met him through Tabby's community. And he asked me to write the foreword. This is the 3rd foreword of a book I've written. So you can see foreword, then by Joanne Muturi, life coach and business mentor. So I wrote the foreword. So I'm going to read for you the foreword of both. Actually, I forwarded both books, right? So I'm going to read for you. And the book is called The Power of You, Your Overwhelming Uniqueness, You, right? And I was very touched that, he says, and by the way, Tabby, you're also acknowledged and you're here. He says, heavy appreciation goes to my mentors and life coaches, Tabitha, Kihara, and Joanne Muturi. And I did the foreword, and I'm going to read for you what I wrote for the foreword very quickly for the books that he asked me to. So what I said is that self-expression is one of the best attributes we can have as human beings. The expression of one's own uniqueness, personality, feelings, or ideas as through speech or art is very important. And that's why David has done great justice in liberating the reader and opening them up to see things from an unbiased, non-partisan stand. David's prolific writing style answers the search for enlightened consciousness, liberation, and empowerment through the power of words. Every poem is penned in an articulate fashion, taking you through an introspective safari where you can see things from a deeper perspective. David's communication style is simple but profound, wise but non-judgmental, deeply personal, but also resonating with the general human condition in a world that has greatly shifted. David calls upon the reader to dare to take a step forward and not to allow any form of limitations to hold them back. The reminder that there are opportunities hidden inside each one of us is something that gives hope to the reader. Each piece has insights that literally shed light into every corner of the human spirit. With assuredness, compassion, and grace, his words will remain a constant reminder of the honey that flows directly from the poet's heart. And as has been so succinctly stated, ride your own ride. Faint not when you're put to the test. I'm reading this for you. These are my words. So I'm putting them for you as I wind up today. Ride your own ride. Faint not when you're put to the test. When ridicule and criticism overwhelm you, be strong and bold-faced, for you are predestined to be the brightest star. That's one of the poems in here. So I quoted it in the thing. And I said that a man's or woman's mind, so put your name in the chat. So Joanne's mind, once stretched to a new idea, never goes back to its original dimension. That's by Oliver Wendell Holmes. So those 3 days that you've been with me on this boot camp, your mind has been stretched in a way it has never been stretched before. And once it's been stretched, it can never go back to its original state. So allow yourself to operate from the newly stretched mind, not from the old one that walked in here 3 days ago. And so my disclaimer for this book, I said, your mind after reading these poems will never return to its original dimension. Joanne Muturi, life coach and life purpose coach and business mentor. So he gave me that, and you know, as you can see, dedicated to Joanne Muturi. So let me tell you, ladies, when these things happen in my heart, you know, it makes me touched, because it's, you know, Tabby's is not, but these are 3 books I'm talking about in the last 1 month that have been written, and all of them have come because I chose to step into my purpose and not allow fear to stop me. So what about you? What about you? Why are you stopping yourself? These are not goats writing books. These are not sheep writing books. These are not donkeys writing books. These are human beings just like you. The blood is red when they are cut. It's not green. So you can do anything you want to do so long as you have the vision and you have the right support and you have the right mentality. There's absolutely nothing that you cannot do. Don't let your pride or your fear or your prejudices or your already preconceived mindset stop you from doing that. Do what you need to do. Keep soaring high. Yes, Nancy put in her name. When you believe that you're the biggest asset, and I'm winding this up shortly, when you realize that you're the biggest asset, therefore, when you make that decision to invest in yourself, you do so to yield a high return on investment on yourself. So whenever I invest in a program, I don't even think about the money. For me, it's like I make a bet on myself. And when I make a bet on myself, I sure better win, because I'm going to put every bit of myself into it. Because I know that each one of you can do whatever it is that you want to do with the vision pulling you forward. No experience that you ever will go through in your life will ever be wasted. When I came to the United Kingdom, I came here with nothing. All I had was the belief that I will launch a business. I had never launched a business before. That's not true. I had launched a business before, but it wasn't like it was something else. I actually ran a matatu. Those of you in Kenya, it's a public service. I had a public service transport vehicle called a manyanga, and very excruciating experience, if I may say so myself. I spent lots and millions to get it moving, and at the end, it was just an effort that actually has built the resilience that I have today, because I've never gone through such torture in my life in entrepreneurship. So I already had my own fears around being an entrepreneur, but I knew that's what God was calling me to do, but I just did not know what. I had no idea what I was going to do. All I knew is that I've been called. I've been called because, you know, when God puts you aside and gives you a calling, you just know in your heart there's something. I just didn't know what it was. And it was through me going through a severe wilderness season. I came here not knowing anybody. My family members were, now I'm just outside, relatively close to London. But then I was very far from London, and my relatives and friends were all in London. So I was in my own wilderness, far from everybody. And it was during that time that I was separated from everything that I knew, separated from my family, separated from the comfort. I had worked with the UN for 13 years. I had been an employee for so long. So you can imagine where my mind was. Again, this is a foreign country. I was in the place I lived. There were no Black people, hardly, zero. And I was literally separated from everything that I knew, but I could feel, a tugging in my spirit that there's something about to be done. I just didn't know what it was. And I remember many nights, and I've shared this with you ladies, I would cry myself to sleep. I would cry. Yes, I had a Manyanga Terry 58. It was called Plasma. It was the most souped up matatu ever. People used to wait for it, and students to go for, they're called circulars. And I used to wait I used to come from the UN, go to USIU, it was an American university there, go do my MBA. From MBA, would finish class at 9 p.m., leave USIU, Kasarani, drive all the way to Buruburu every single day for over 2 years to collect the money of my matatu. I was conned, I was stolen from, I went through extreme devastation. Things was, the matatu crew would say things. I saw many things. Once, my matatu, I just told them, and let me tell you guys, so the matatus, just put the bus, it's a stage, it's a coach station. So the coaches all stop at one place, right? In Kenya, we call them matatus coach. So they've all stopped, and mine was the first one. It was like the newest, it was the latest, so it was trending. So people used to wait for it. So I told the people, because there was money, there was something happening. Was it money? Or something had happened, and I was not happy because I'd come from the police station. So I told them, move that vehicle there. You guys are not going anywhere. We have to sort out this issue. But there I was only 23, I don't know, 20, but I was strict. I told them, move that vehicle, we are not going. They're like, no, but we're the first in the queue. If we go behind, I'm like, I don't care. I want to know what happened. So I moved them on the side. Ladies, listen to me. There is a God in heaven. They're arguing with me, and I'm telling them, move that vehicle. We're not going anywhere. The vehicle that now decided to go in front of mine was for the former Sonko. Sonko's matatu went in front of mine. I told them, you guys just go ahead of me. It didn't get to the city before that matatu was carjacked and 3 people were killed. That would have been us, and I would have been inside that matatu. I lived to tell the tale, because for the last round, I would go with them and come back, pick my car, go home, get home around 2 a.m., wake up at 6, go to the gym. You have to be relentless. The things I've done in this life, like, I can tell you the number of things I've done, even other little dibbles and dabbles. You have to do what you have to do. I used to go, there was a time I even used to go get, vintage clothing and sell to my friends in uni. So I go, there was a market near where I'm in Karen, there's a market there. So they would bring designer clothes, and I pick. You're seeing there, what were those ones? It was called Fuji. What was it called? Remind me, those designer things, 𝐃𝐞𝐬𝐢𝐠𝐧 those things. I would go pick. I picked them there, 100 bob, 200 bob. I go sell for 500, 1,000, make my money. At some point, another lady, Mrs. 𝐏𝐻𝐻𝐿𝐻, a very good friend of the family, she was selling jewelry from Congo. I became her agent, and I was making more money than her, because she told me, give me 1,000 shillings, you sell above, it doesn't matter. So I'd go sell 2,000, 3,000. A friend of mine had introduced me to some people, some parliamentarians, I'd sell to their wives. I made a lot of money, but you have to know that it's in you. So when I came here to the UK, I knew I'm starting from fresh, and I wasn't going to do those ones of other people's things, matat. No, I knew I was going to do something else, and I was food boo. Yes, food boo, that was the one. Ladies, I can tell you stories about the business. I've done so many little things. In fact, my dad just laughs. He's like, what next? I'm like, no, this is the one. This one, yeah. Unless God shifts it, because everything, again, goes back to him. But in this season, this is what I've been called to do. So anyway, I was in this wilderness season, and I'm like, okay, it's not Kenya that I just wake up with an idea today and tomorrow I just bounce with it. I have to think and think. But I didn't know what. But I knew I love to teach. But I didn't know what. And when I stumbled upon, just like this type of training, I stumbled on a coach, and everything she said, I was like, that's me. Has someone ever spoken, and you're like, your heart is like, you're just so connected to that person, and you're like, that's for me. I don't even care how much it is. Tell me, I'll do. That was me. She spoke, and I was listening, and I'm like, I need that. And when she told me the investment, I almost fainted. But by now, you know me, relentless. This could be the thing that could change my life. And let me tell you what, had I not said yes, had I succumbed to my limitations, we would not be here today. I'd probably have taken a job with Barclays, HSBC, Lloyd's, probably be working in the city, going to an office every single day. No, that's not a bad thing at all. Not everybody's meant to be an entrepreneur, but I knew that there was something else I needed to do. And I came and launched that business in a foreign country where nobody knew me. And I started from scratch, just like each one of you here. And now we're going to 5 years. What can I say? 5 years in a foreign land, 5 years knowing nobody. But this business has touched every continent. You've seen the testimonies here. Why? Because I did not allow the limitations to stop me. All I saw was the possibilities, and I partnered with a coach who got my vision, a coach who, just by listening to me, just held my hand, and I was able to figure out what I was here to do. And just like that, I'm offering the same opportunity to you. Put up your hand, just like I did, and just say, you know what? I've tried on my own, it's not worked. I need this help, I need this support. There's no need of you running manyangas. There's no need of you going sorting bills of vintage, gently used clothing to sell to people in uni. There's no need of you going to look for Mrs. Wanyweke to sell her jewelry for her. You have your own special gift. You have your own special magic that the world is waiting for. And now as I stand, I have coached hundreds, or you've seen them here, you've had their stories, you've seen the books, and that has nothing to do with me. It's because I availed myself as a vessel of God to be used as he pleases. I did not let money stop me. I did not let my limitations stop me. I did not let, my fears or anxiety stop me. I just decided to walk in with a surrendered spirit. And that surrendered spirit and that surrendered heart and that surrendered belief and that surrendered stance is the one I stand with you in front of right now, knowing that I do not know what the future holds, but I know who holds the future. Your future is great, but it's only as great as you allow yourself to partner with God and with a mentor who gets it. So today I just want to say that book that call. At the end of the session, you will walk with clarity on your goals and what it is that you want to achieve for this Q2. You'll get a deeper understanding of the specific challenges. Your challenges are not Jane's challenges, are not Mary's challenges that are holding you back. Of course, I'll give you my recommended next steps, Like, for example, today I had a call and I knew my recommended next steps for this particular person was she just was not ready. She had so many other things she needs to sort out fast. And I told her, sort those things out fast, and then we can talk about coaching later, because I knew in my head those things needed to be sorted fast before she can even concentrate on any program. And then you walk out with a renewed sense of motivation and confidence for your aligned, purpose-driven personal path, because we have a personal path, right? And then, you will engage in an open and honest conversation. I'll hear you, you'll hear me, and then you'll have the confidence to take your next step, whatever it is. Some of you have done CCC, you probably won't fit into CCC. Now you probably want to do the next level on Purpose Mastermind. And, you'll have that support of a transformational coach who genuinely cares, yeah? So let's leave it at that, ladies. I want us to speak on Monday. So you guys are making me laugh in the chat. Yeah, see, God is a good God. Always lean on him, always trust in him. So book your call if you've not. I'm going to put the link again. And if you're watching the replay, this also applies to you. Whether you are watching live or on the replay, just give yourself that opportunity, because remember what I told you, thieves don't break into empty houses. So the enemy right now, the enemy of your soul is telling you right now to do it another time. Who tells you have a chance to do it another time? The time is now. So walk with confidence, knowing that your life is demanding another level of you. but it requires intentionality. So I wrote in my email that I'm going to give an announcement, and those who submitted their homework, well done. I got, I think, 6 or 7 assignments. Those who did their homework, well done. So the probability is very high for you because you're like 6 or 7 of you. So it's 1 out of 6 or 7. So I wish you all the best in whatever it is that I'm going to announce on Monday. And on Monday, I am bringing you ladies into Zoom. The challenge has officially ended today. But on Monday, I'm going to do a bonus session. Can somebody type for me bonus session? Bonus session. And that's going to happen on Monday. And it's going to happen at 6 p.m. And it's just going to take 6 p.m. East African, 6 p.m. UK, which is 8 p.m. East African time, which is 1 p.m. Eastern time. So put that in your calendar. I'll send you guys an email, and we're just going to have a conversation on Zoom. You're going to log on to Zoom, ask me any questions you have. It will be an open forum, and it's there that I will announce the winner of the getaway, and then we'll wrap it up nicely there. That should not take more than 45 minutes. So at 6 o'clock on Monday, for those of you in England, 8 p.m. East African time, 1 p.m. Eastern time, I will meet you on Zoom, not on the Facebook. So those who log on to Zoom are the ones who will get access to this. And I can't wait to meet you. Whether we are 3, whether we are 10, whether we are 50, doesn't matter. I just want to spend time with you, to see your face, to hear how this has been for you, and use the weekend to really go over these trainings again, because come the end of next week, I'm going to take them down. So bonus session, be there, be with me, join me. Again, if you're 1, it will be me and you. If we are 5, it will be me and the 5. So I work with who's there. So it's not like if you're 1, I'll be like, oh, I can't talk to 1 person. If you're the 1, we have a one-on-one. We enjoy ourselves and off we go. If you're 10, I talk to the 10 of you. So whatever it is, let the friends come on the Zoom, invite them to the Zoom. The link will be sent to you in advance, but be there. So again, I repeat the time, 6 p.m. and that is a bonus session. It will be just Q&A, me talking to you now. I'm talking on the Facebook. Now we will be on the Zoom. I'll be able to see your face. You can ask me your questions directly, and then I will wrap it up with now with the giveaway person, and hopefully the person will be there. So thank you, everybody. Tell me bye in the chat. Let me hear you say bye. I want to hear the byes. Tell me bye. I gave you all my business today about my tattoos and my vintage clothing and everything, but that's why we are here. I'm as transparent as I can be. Thank you for the love hearts, darlings. Thank you. See you, everybody, and God bless you. May this weekend just be so relaxing. Listen to the replays, invite your friends to watch them, take your time. Tomorrow I'm going for a party, right from your party. I bought the clothes, I'll be shining. I'll be shining at my friend's party tomorrow, so I can't wait for that. And some of you who follow me on Instagram and Facebook, you will see me, and the said friend of the party is on the podcast on Monday, so you will get to listen to the podcast with her on Monday. See you, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend, and God bless. Bye. Tell your friends to watch the replay. Lots of love to you, and thank you for all who contributed. Special thanks to Joyce for giving the story. Special thanks to all my book people who have made me proud. Dr. Ndecha, everybody, David, I'm so proud of you, Tabby, as well. Everybody who has contributed greatly to this conversation, I honor you and I love you. And I want to tell you this, that the rain falls on the just and unjust alike. God does not do favorites. This is your time. This is your season. Do not hold yourself back. Do not hold yourself back, but I've got your back. You see, I can be a rapper. Do not hold yourself back, because I've got your back. Bye, guys. See you soon. God bless.